If you're over the age of 55, maybe recently retired or thinking about it, and you've wondered if it's even possible to get out gigging, playing live music and making money at your age, you're in the right place. My name is Finbar and I've worked closely with men between the ages of 45 and 75. Guys who thought their gigging days were behind them, and I've helped them to get back out playing live and loving music again. Including my own dad, who's now in his late 60s and is back out there playing regular gigs after years away from music. And I get it. It can feel like the ship has sailed, it can feel like nobody wants to book you, or like you're too old to start. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why gigging might feel like a dead end right now, especially if you're starting later in life. But more importantly, I'll show you what to do instead so you can start landing gigs that actually make you money, build your confidence, and make the whole thing fun again. I'll break it down into the 3 things that most musicians miss, the mindset that holds people back, and the simple steps that you can take to fix it fast. Most musicians who give up or never get started, they think the problem is their talent or their age or their lack of contacts. But honestly, the real reason people burn out is because they play the wrong kind of gigs. They say yes to every unpaid open mic night, charity event, every pub that promises great exposure but never actually pays. And after a while, you start asking yourself, what's the point? The point is not to play for free forever. Playing for free can be useful to gain confidence in a live setting, but ideally you want to build something sustainable. And that starts by knowing what kind of gigs are actually worth your time. By the way, when it comes to actually negotiating with venues, there are 5 mistakes you should avoid so you don't look like an amateur. And I've put these mistakes into a Google Doc where I go into this topic in a bit more detail. The link is below if you want to grab it for free. For years, I thought that if I just played more gigs, somebody would eventually notice me. I thought the key was grinding harder, playing 3-hour pub sets, being background music at restaurants, or even gigs where nobody's really listening. But here's what I realized. It's not about how many gigs you play. It's about who you're playing for and how you present yourself. I used to show up, play my songs, then pack up and leave, and hope that somebody would offer me another gig. But that is a hobbyist mindset, not a professional one. This brings me to the shift that I made to attract better gigs and better money, and also how my dad did the same thing. The moment everything changed for me was when I stopped treating gigs like a hobby and started treating them like a professional service. I built a simple set list of songs that people actually wanted to hear, crowd pleasers, sing-alongs, songs that made people smile, dance, or lean in. I stopped saying yes to every unpaid gig. Instead, I focused on gigs that paid fairly, had a real audience, and valued what I brought to the table. And here's the kicker. Once I made that shift, the gigs started coming to me. All venues, bars, care homes, private events, they all want reliable, quality entertainment. They don't care how old you are. They cared that you could show up, connect with the crowd, and make the night better. And if you're still doubting whether it's possible, let me tell you again about my dad. He used to gig in his 20s, but stopped when life, work, and family took over. A few years ago, when he hit his 60s and started thinking about retirement, he decided to pick up his guitar again, and we worked together, refreshed his set list, and simplified his approach. Now he's back playing regular gigs, not just at home in Ireland, but also abroad. He's met new friends, earned extra income, and most importantly, he's fallen back in love with music. So if you're sitting there thinking, maybe I've missed the boat, you haven't. You can do this too. So how this applies to you, even if you've no contacts or social media. You might be thinking, this sounds great, but I don't have a following. I've been out of the game for years. I don't even know where to start. The truth is, you don't need an online following or fancy connections. Some of the best paid musicians that I know are playing small gigs in local pubs, care homes, golf clubs, holiday resorts, and they're not famous. They're consistent, reliable, and they know how to play the right songs for the right crowd. And at 55, 60, or 70, you're in a perfect position. You've got life experience, stories to tell, and audiences who would rather hear a real human with a guitar rather than a DJ or a TikTok star. So here's what I want you to do next. Step number 1, make a list of 20 to 30 songs that you know people love. Songs that they can sing along to, songs from their youth, songs that light up any room. Step number 2, practice those songs until you can perform them confidently without staring at chords or lyrics on a sheet. Also, make sure to adjust the key of your songs to a range that suits your voice. The capo is your best friend. Step number 3, start reaching out to local bars, care homes, golf clubs, cafes, restaurants. You don't need to wait for permission. You just need to offer a simple, clear service. Live music that makes people happy. If you're watching this thinking, maybe it's not too late, you're right, it's not. I've worked with people in their 50s, 60s and 70s who've gone from 0 gigs and an empty set list to getting out there playing live again, and most importantly, having fun. My own dad is doing it right now, and you can do it too. Don't forget, if you want my document where I delve into the 5 mistakes to avoid when negotiating with venues, then grab it below for free. And remember, your best gigs might still be ahead of you. See you in the next video.